Hey y'all, hey all. Welcome to this Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment transmission. My name is Ashley-Nicole Phillips. I am the biblically prophesied Messiah, the Jewish culture widely awaited Mashiach, the Hindu culture prophesied Kalki. Full circle moment alert, excuse me, 1 second, y'all. Full circle moment alert. So are you? Why Ashley? What have in me, you have in you. What you have in you, I have in me. We are literally dimensions, authentic frequential patternings that are one with, synonymous with the oneness of all things, y'all. Subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel to join the Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment journey to a healed and balanced and heightened consciousness, awareness, humanity, planet Earth, divine human, biblically prophesied, perfect human, where we remember we're one with divine beingness or infinite potentials. You'll get transmissions every Wednesday unless otherwise stated. I do also have a podcast, Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips, which is available to stream for free on YouTube and Spotify. Beautiful blessing offering that I've been shared with. I'm one with my soul, but I was 1,000%, and I still am 1,000% soul guided. Even with this offering, this project, Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, soul guided, inspiration, initiative, all the way through. Nothing I thought in my brain to just do. Truly. Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips is available to stream on YouTube and Spotify. It's linked below. If we don't have a new Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment transmission, I'll invite you over to Kingdom Things Podcast to take part in whatever transmission is posted that Monday. We get Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment transmissions on Wednesday, unless otherwise stated. And if we don't get a new transmission of Kingdom Things Podcast, I'll let you know, and we'll figure something out. The catalog is timeless, so you're more than welcome to utilize my content. I channel energies, messages, wisdoms from my soul space, using my shamanistic capabilities, my soul gifts, my ESP, extrasensory perception, mediumship, psychic abilities, to assist us as we awaken in the masses to the remembrance that we're limitless potentials, tandem one with all things, divine wisdoms, our most magnificent embodiments of self, most magnificent manifestations of reality. Which brings me to the Kingdom Things Podcast 2033 prophecy. I know we're within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, but I have to share the prophecy here as always, like always. We are, by the year 2033, the Most High, the Divine, says we will be a human culture, planet Earth, with no death, no disease, no war, no famine, war, peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking. As death, disease, war, famine, poverty, pedophilia, sex trafficking, human trafficking, we're all a part of the makings of us, or we're a part of our gestational phase. I channel from my soul space, wisdoms. Whenever creation needs something to continue to grow and evolve, it naturally produces it. Everything we experience, every way we've ever shown up, was a manifestation of divine creation's natural, benevolent disposition to continue to grow and evolve into more conscious awareness, or more unity, more limitless potentials. Everything we experience within our gestational phase of when we were calcified, seemingly, in a dense vibrational throng of energies that kept us dissonant to our divine remembrance, that we are limitless potentials, that we are one with all things. This gestational phase of dense beingness, where we manifested, co-created death, disease, war, famine, poverty, pedophilia, sex trafficking, human trafficking, was all a part of the makings of us to prepare us for our human dharmic purpose. Which brings us to the channeled human dharmic purpose, Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, synonymously shared with Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips, channeled human dharmic purpose. It is biblical. We were created to be limitless potentials in the tangible, or limitless potentials with the illusion of form or finite. Limitless potentials as beings, human beings, bipedal men, of the cosmos, of the galaxies of planet Earth, of the realmly creation called cosmos, galaxies, planet Earth. The divine wants to see, what do we create? We're being awakened to our limitless potential within the dream of affinity, of form, finite form. What do we create? With being remembered, embodied, consciously consciously remembered and consciously embodying our limitless potentials or our divine wisdoms in which we are. No longer just being animated through and as energies. As we know through our sciences, all things are energy. And our perception of that is energy, our paradigm that is energy, is one of infinite paradigms of divine creation, or one way to perceive the grand narration, the grand story that is divine creation. Instead of just being animated and moved kinetically, physically, by these divine wisdoms in which we are, or the energy in which we are. We're becoming more sentient beings where we can read, interpret, communicate, have dialogue with the energies in which we are, of and as. To become more consciously remembered to our existential nature, our existential existence. The divine wants to see what it would create. We already decided in the masses, universally, no death, no disease, no war, no famine, world peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking. What else do we create? I also channeled the Kardashian scale prophecy within the Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips catalog. I'll link the installment below. In the reference KTP content, the Kardashian scale was channeled by the astronomer Kardashian, whom stated what he channeled it out. My soul was like, oh yeah, we gifted that to humanity. The astronomer Kardashian channeled this because we gifted these wisdoms to humanity to remind y'all that y'all were created to continue to grow and evolve, to continue to grow and evolve. The Kardashian scale sets out an outline, a juxtaposition, an understanding as far as the evolutionary status of a galactic colony, galactic civilization. Based off of the amount of energy the galactic colony, the galactic civilization is able to harness, utilize within its, utilize towards its evolution and growth. The divine says, as channeled within the Kingdom Things podcast, Kardashian scale prophecy, we will be a type 1, type 2, type 3 Kardashian scale colony. Within 0 to 50 years, 0 to 25 years, 0 to 0 years, whenever we decide to, whenever the creation, the oneness of all things needs humanity of planet Earth to understand, to perceive that we are a Kardashian scale type 1, type 2, type 3, because everything is truly here and now. Everything is what it is. It's our perception of what is, our perspective of what is that changes due to our vibrational frequential patterning shift, or how our energies resonate. At any point in time, a switch can be flipped to where our brain patterns and our energy manifest or co-create a Kardashian scale type 1, type 2, type 3 human being of planet Earth by resonating where we already exist as a type 1, type 2, type 3 Kardashian scale human colony of planet Earth, by resonating where humanity already exists as a Kardashian scale type 1, type 2, type 3 human being culture of planet Earth. We exist within a realm of creation. We know our reality is multidimensional. We know this through quantum physics. Our reality is multidimensional. We know our perception of reality is one in which we perceive a minute faction of the totality of the light spectrum of our existence, or the dimensionality of our existence. We know through the double split experiment that our existence is one in which has dimensions and scientific understandings or frequential patternings that are beyond our understanding at this time as a collective, as demonstrated through the double split experiment. Excuse me, y'all. This is going to be a casual, slow-paced channeling because I'm really learning through this. It's really candid. I'm really learning through this installment. Whenever we decide, because every human being is infinite, limitless wisdoms, divine wisdoms are energies, right? Sentience. We're coming into greater sentience, our biology. Our human, which has never been separate from the divine wisdoms, but is at a dimensionality, a divine orchestration which puts our biology at a evolutionary formatting, a divine formula, a divine sequence in which our biology, our human consciousness is melding with our limitless wisdoms, or learning and growing through existence by following our heart spaces and being tutored and evolved by our limitless wisdoms. This brings us to the Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment Call to Action. Sit with yourself for at least 2 hours a day, every day. Ask yourself, hey soul, hey soul, what is it that I need to consciously be aware of to come into greater conscious awareness and conscious embodiment of my limitless potentials? Wait for the answers, because they will show up, they will come. I channel within Kingdom Things Podcast. It's a Kingdom Things Podcast installments, Frequential Patterning Part 1. There is a Frequential Patterning Part 2. I'll link both installments in the reference KTP content below in the description of this Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment transmission. I channel within Frequential Patterning Part 1. There are an infinite number of ways to perceive reality, and there are infinite number of energies within reality to perceive. Meaning, stating, what do you mean by that, Ashley? Meaning, stating, however you perceive reality, or your dialogue with yourself, or the limitless potentials in which you are, principle of correspondence, universal law of correspondence, as below, so above. Everything in our reality is only a projection of the energies in which we are. Everything that you perceive in your reality is only a mirror of your own energy. You co-created my existence because I'm a mirror of your energy. I co-created your existence because you're a mirror of my energy. Whenever principle of correspondence, as below, so above. Your dialogue, your lingo with yourself, or the oneness of all things, most likely is unique to yourself. So when you ask the question, hey soul, hey self, what is it that I need to know to become more consciously embodied and consciously aware of my limitless potentials as universally aligned, universally assigned for the upliftment and regeneration of all things, balance and wellness? Wait for the answers, because they will come. Validate yourself in your knowing, even if your co-creation, your dialogue, your love, your intimacy with yourself or the universal forces isn't in a box that we isn't within a paradigm that we understand as a collective. Meaning, if your communication with the universe isn't clairaudience, any of the clairsentience, clairaudience, claircognizance, clairvoyance, or a widely understood or widely utilized, widely experienced type of channeling or mediumship, if your way to sense reality is more like synesthesia, where there's no rhyme or reason, it's just the way I perceive. Validate yourself in your knowing. Do not replace anything you experience within Oneness. Do not replace your professional medical advice with anything you experience within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. Whatever help you feel like you need to reach out and get as you awaken to your limitless potentials, don't be afraid to do this. Don't be afraid to do this. Don't be afraid to do this. So we will be a type 1, type 2, type 3 Kardashian scale colony whenever it's aligned for us, for our universal evolution. Because whenever anything that happens is a part of evolution, part of our growth. Excuse me when I have to channel, and sometimes I burp, and I've been drinking a lot of water today. Excuse me. All right, like I said, y'all, we're really learning and growing through this installment of Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, because I've had a lot of questions. Oh yeah. When I initially put this in my calendar to channel, I've been pushing it back a few times because my spirit soul is like, hey, Ashley, let's push this back, push this back. I've been pushing, but we're here now, and we're channeling this installment of Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. When I originally channeled this, put this in my calendar to be a part of the Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment transmissions. I titled it Oneness Connection Self-Validation, Supreme Confidence. Wanting to get a greater understanding from universal wisdoms, divine wisdoms, of, you know, impulse evolution, consumption evolution, being wellness and balance. Now, this is nothing I just thought of myself. I was walking to the store and I was having a powwow session with my inner space, or having an intimate dialogue with universal forces, because they're wanting to know, like, what is it that I'm trying to create, you know, within this existence. Because I'm in what you would call my dharmic purpose, where I've had bouts, I've had rapid spiritual growth and evolution, divinely aligned. I won't get into my story all deeply, super in depth in this installment, but I was catalyzed onto my spiritual awakening, a divine intervention, where my life was shaken up and who I thought I was shattered. In order for me to remember who I am in the divine or my limitless potentials. So I was walking to the store, having a powwow session, where that's when I call my inner space with divine forces, with my soul, and I'm gifted wisdoms and have divine dialogue. I was having dialogue with these universal consciousness. And they're like, "Hey Ashley, what are you trying to create?" And I've gotten divine mandates for my inner space. Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips is linked below. Available to stream for free on YouTube and Spotify. Subscribe, follow to join the Kingdom Things Podcast journey to a healed and balanced human culture of planet Earth. Kingdom Things Podcast was gifted to me by my soul space, or my future self. Like, hey, start this podcast. Name it Kingdom Things. And I started channeling. I was healing for a couple years, 3 years incessantly. Really, my soul says since 2018, when you made that big shift, you agreed to your guidance, made the big shift, and was committed to it. That's when my soul's like, 2018 is where you really started your healing journey. But the last 3 or 4 years, I've really pulled out of the world by my soul space divine intervention, to incessantly focus on divine remembrance of who I am in the divine and my limitless potentials, who I was created to be, who I intended to be on a God, soul, limitless level before I incarnated. And experiences shaped me to grow me into greater gestation or forgetfulness, amnesia of my limitless potentials. Not for me to stay there in the cocoon, but for me to wake up and eventually spread my wings and fly, be birthed from the cocoon, caterpillar to butterfly. Here I am, a butterfly, being birthed into a new dimension of my butterfly nature, or learning and growing more into more conscious awareness, conscious embodiment, different varying perspectives of my limitless nature. I was having the divine. I started Kingdom Things Podcast. Started channeling from my heart space, and that's where I got the divine revelation of who I am in God. The divine is like, "Hey, Ashley, you are a leading soul of the 144,000. You and your divine counterpart, y'all's family, are to grow and evolve into your conscious awareness and conscious embodiment of your limitless potentials, as universally aligned, universally assigned for the upliftment and regeneration of all things, in order to assist with magnetizing humanity into rapid evolution, into conscious awareness of y'all's limitless potentials, of humanity's limitless potentials." I got this divine revelation within Kingdom Things Podcast, channeled it within Kingdom Things Podcast, 144 Part 1, Part 2, as well as Cook Up, and it's all throughout the podcast. I got these divine revelations through the audio style, where I channel. I'm living my life and I channel on my phone. My soul's like, "Hey, record this divine revelation," and I stitch the voice memos together and publish within Kingdom Things Podcast, all audio. It's where I got these divine revelations, divine remembrances of my promised land, or who I intended to be on the divine level, soul level, before I incarnated. Give me a second, y'all. Let me close this door. Give me 1 second. Before I incarnated. So Kingdom Things Podcast, again, available to stream for free on YouTube and Spotify. And I channeled a lot with the divine, mandated my soul space, like, hey, this is what we came here to create. No death, no disease, no war, no famine. To assist with manifesting, assist with creating. No death, no disease, no war, no famine. Why? Because I project you into reality. You project me into reality. So everything we create, even if we think we're doing it in our autonomous nature, it's a co-creation. So I incarnated to assist with co-creating. No death, no disease, no war, no famine, world peace, no poverty, no pedophilia, no sex trafficking, no human trafficking. as well as no idolatry, no iconography, unity. Remembrance that we are one in each other, are one in divine creation, one in infinite potentials. Yes, authentic frequential patternings where we have varying perspectives, varying ideologies, varying paradigms of belief systems, divine wisdoms, to co-create evolution, growth, variances, differences, like in science, kinetic energy, or speed, oscillation. There has to be variables like inertia or friction. When you're looking at speed or velocity, in order for speed or velocity to change or momentum to change, there has to be friction, inertia, other components other than varying components in order to create momentum. It's the same thing with evolution. In order to have evolution, we have to have differences or variances to create momentum. I was gonna say seemingly friction. We don't want to say friction. So we say friction when we talk about personalities, or when we talk about personalities and we use the word friction, we normally associate this with a negative connotation of conflict. Science, friction is when two things rub together, creating a difference in momentum or a difference in speed. No negative connotation with this. And a lot of times we run from our personas, our personification into science or facts in order to avoid our emotionality. And our emotions are the energies that move through us, as us, with us. We are the energy. So when we ignore the energy or our feelings, we stagnate the momentum of our evolution. So this oneness connection energetic of, unity, the universal consciousness was like, hey Ashley, what are you trying to create? I was like, I know upliftment for all beings and things, to assist with the regeneration and upliftment of humanity, synonymous, simultaneously the upliftment and regeneration of all of infinite creation, divine creation. We know infinite creation, divine creation as God, Brahman, Hinduism, the Pleroma, Barbello, Gnostic Christianity, the Pleroma and Barbello. Those are two different. That's omnipresence, limitless potentials at varying degrees. So Gnostic Christianity has the Pleroma as well as Barbello. Hinduism has Brahman. Judaism has the Sephirot, or the 10 emanations of divine creation. We're going to talk about that later as well, and see the contrast within African spirituality, because I had that question about African spirituality. So I was chatting with the consciousness, universal consciousness, like, what are you trying to create? I was like, upliftment for all. And they were like, okay, well, you have to understand that the way you perceive all and what all is two separate things. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah. I was like, I can dig it. I can dig it. I was like, I can dig it. You know, I have so many wisdoms that I've been taught. They're in the podcast, and as well as Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. They're in Kingdom Things podcast, as well as Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. So many divine wisdoms, like, hey, the way you perceive reality is a direct reflection of your conscious awareness. A direct reflection of the way your energy and thought patterns are formulated divinely to create the authentic frequential patterning, or the projection of the experience that is, insert your name. I was like, I can dig it. I was like, I understand. I know I'm a conduit, because I just had this inner question. I just asked myself in my inner space, I was like, how are we going to do this, man? And it's like, remember you're a conduit. Spirit's like, remember you're a conduit for divine energies, divine creation. Yes, enjoy your experience as an authentic expression, or as Ashley, or as whoever your name is. But understand that your understanding of all or divine creation is synonymous with who you believe you are, and not the truth of which all things are, limitless potentials. So you're a conduit of divine awareness, to share your experience, share your healing energies, to contribute to the evolution of universal orchestration, or the upliftment of all things, regeneration of all things. Yes. 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 So I was like, I want an upliftment for all things. So okay. I was like, okay, great. Because that was my divine mandate from the soul space. Hey, Ashley, uplift all things. So it's been challenging for me. It's been challenging for me, the manifestation that is I, the experience that is I. And God's like, don't demonize your ego, don't demonize your personification, don't demonize any dimension of you, because everything you experience, everything you are, is to be utilized towards your growth and evolution, to more makings of you, or more regeneration, experience, wisdoms wielded, to share more of the expression that is you. So I was having, it was a conundrum. I had a conundrum. It was really difficult for me to be supremely confident, because whenever I need to take a breath, I need some fresh etheric wine, H2O. The H2O, I needed some fresh etheric wine. I had to go outside. They gave me some oxygen. Sometimes I have to go outside and get some oxygen, etheric wine, H2O, okay? I walked outside and I had a brief divine encounter with universal energies, forces. They're like, hey, Ashley, it's okay for you to be supremely confident. I was like, I don't want to be supremely confident. They're like, no, you want to be supremely confident. That's how your belief, that's how you become a master creator of reality. Master shifter of your own evolution, your own energy, to masterfully shift reality. I was like, okay, yeah. And it's like, the Spirit's like, why don't you want to be supreme? Right now, Spirit is asking, like, hey, share the whole story of like your thoughts of why you didn't want to be supremely confident. Because, when you experience somebody that's supremely confident, they be supremely wrong. Sometimes they be supremely wrong. We call this narcissism. You're just so confident in what you know, to where you're not able to perceive anybody else's perception. So I was like, I don't want to be supremely confident. It's like, yes, you do. And I do want to be supremely confident. Paired with humble pride, paired with the understanding that the way that I perceive reality is only my perspective. It doesn't make it any less valid. It doesn't make it any less powerful. It doesn't make it any less potent. This is an analogy I use a lot. It makes my confidence, my supreme confidence, my pigment, my authentic frequential patterning stroke on the canvas of divine creation. So I do want to be supremely confident, right? But I was having trouble because I've been doing a lot of healing in the inner space, convening with so many creator gods, energies, all the things, and healing my insides, in which we are all truly one. And now I have a question, because we're channeling a lot of energies, ancestral forces today, right? We're truly one. And my perspective is my perception. That's very true. And how we perceive other people, how we experience other people, is a co-creation of a manifestation of our perspective, as well as the being or thing we're communicating with or co-creating with, their perspective, their perception. Today we're channeling African spiritual universal creator gods, Osiris and Isis, which aren't separate from the African spiritual universal creator gods. We also have Jesus and Mary, and we're going to talk about this. We have Jesus and Mary Magdalene. This is going to be like probably like 3 parts, y'all. I'm not going to lie. It was going to be 2 parts, but I feel like we're already 30 minutes in. It might need to be 3 parts. I'm not mad at it. So we're channeling African spiritual universal creator gods, and they'll come out every Wednesday. Sequentially. So today we're channeling. I don't want to lose my train of thought, so I keep on coming back to this. Today we're channeling African spiritual universal creator gods, Osiris and Isis, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Norse gods, as well as beings of the great beyond, as well as Ptah, the creator, the Egyptian creator god. Oh, okay, and then I'm getting divine revelation, a Thoth-the-Atlantean, Thought Me, let's go. Thoth-the-Atlantean's father, Thought Me, Tahuti. Let me write this down. Let's go. I channeled Thought Me before within the Kingdom Things podcast transmission. I'm gonna link it below. It's like master yourself to master reality. I can't remember, but that was the theme of the installment. I channeled Thought Me, Apollonius of Tyana, and the Arcturian High Council, the Arcturian beings, the Arcturians, High Knowledge and Wisdom, Council of High Knowledge and Wisdom. So I was excited because I didn't know when I was going to channel Thought Me again. He was like, and I like kind of tapped into his energy. He was like, soon enough, Ashley. I was like, so it just came in divine revelation. He wants to contribute to these transmissions. I'm excited. It was only supposed to be 2 parts. Like before I started, it was going to be 2 parts. And I started recording and speaking all the things. We're already 30 minutes in. And I want to really digest this. I want to integrate it with my brain and really understand it. Why, Ashley? It's like being honest with myself. Fear or feeling or whatever our fears are truly our feelings. We're feeling whenever we feel fear. We can use, I already have this in the notes. I'm reading it. My spirit's like, why, Ashley? Why, Ashley, do you want to understand it in your brain? I said fear, or I'm feeling. My soul's like, hey, Ashley, whenever you're feeling fear, you're really just feeling. And you can use your feelings to pair it with your thought patterns to create what you want to experience. Shape who you want to be. To be honest, one of the fears that I have is related to self-protection or self-preservation. It's being honest with this, to really dig into this and reprogram the energies, to understand that there's no need to escape. I'm also a singer-songwriter. My music, Ashley-Nicole music, is available to stream on YouTube. I have a song called Hold Me Sweet Baby. Hold Me Sweet Baby. And clairaudiently, I'm hearing it. There's no need to escape. Light always precedes dark days. It's the way of nature. The way I away. Oh, me, sweet baby. There's no need to escape. I have so many questions, and I want to understand this in my brain. But truly, honestly, if I'm being honest about it, one of the infinite reasons, because there's infinite reasons why I have these questions. One of the reasons that I have conscious awareness of being honest is self-protection, self-preservation. And my soul's like, hey, Ashley, whenever you're trying to protect yourself, you're truly running from yourself. And this is one perspective that we're speaking about at this moment. Because there's other understandings in my soul, my heart space wants me to understand about this. Self-protection, self-preservation. There's many reasons my soul wants me to understand about self-protection, self-preservation. My soul's like, hey, Ashley, whenever you feel like you're protecting yourself or preserving yourself, you're really running from yourself. Or running for your limitless embodiments of yourself, or running from your limitless wisdoms, or running from your limitless potentials when you want to stay and be what's comfortable, or who you know yourself to be. You're really, truly running from yourself and not preserving yourself. So we're channeling Thought Me, Thoth the Atlantean, as well as Tahuti. I channeled Thought Me. We had a little tangent there, but it's all divinely aligned. Tahuti, as well as Tahuti in this transmission. And then we're channeling African spiritual universal creator gods, Thought Me, Thoth the Atlantean, Tahuti, Osiris and Isis, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Norse gods, beings of the great beyond, Ptah, the Egyptian creator god, experiencer god, creator and experiencer god. And I'm like, so whenever I can't connect with these dimensions of the self, other dimensions of the self, other creator beings, other authentic frequential patternings, I have the divine remembrance, divine wisdom, understanding that I'm experiencing an energy or a time and existence or a communication that's a co-creation between my energy and the ancestral forces energy. Truly my energy, the ancestral forces energy, your energy are one. So coming into this space and time and divine creation where all things are uplifting and we're generating into the remembrance that we're one in each other, one in the divine creation, which is synonymous with the mass spiritual awakening of humanity, where we remember that we're one in each other, one in divine creation, limitless potentials having a human experience, truly formless, limitless energies coming into form, or varying perspectives to grow and evolve humanity, which as we grow and evolve humanity into more wellness and balance and universal alignment, we assist with uplifting and regenerating all things. And this is an experience within infinite experiences to be had within divine creation. Grateful for it. Grateful for it. So beautiful and abundant, divine, benevolent. So what I'm feeling is that friction or that momentum. Because whenever we co-create with another being, we are, whenever we co-create with another being, I'm going to go into an understanding that's in the notes. Whenever we co-create with another being, we are experiencing each other for relation. The divine told me, hey, I want this space of creation to be the upliftment and regeneration of all things, synonymous with the upliftment and remembrance of humanity into its divine potentials, its limitless potentials beyond the paradigms of limitation, lack, or even space and time. I want to strengthen the bond and relation that is the self. How we relate with one another as dimensions of divine creation, as humanity, how we relate, how we relate with each other. I want to strengthen the bond to greater wellness and balance, community, familial. So I'm reading these names: African spiritual universal creator gods, Osiris, Isis, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Norse gods, beings of the great beyond, Ptah, Egyptian creator god, experiencer god, like a dimension of myself. I saw my light body just jump up, because these dimensions of the self, these ancestral forces, these authentic frequential patternings in and of their own right, evolution, growth, have wisdoms and remembrances, conscious awareness of divine creation, divine wisdoms beyond space and time, which allows them to acutely, masterfully manipulate or co-create space and time within space and time. Now, as humans of planet Earth, we all have this divine ability, masterful nature. For so long as we were in our gestational phase when we thought we were just human, just matter, solid, liquid, gas, plasma. We had these super strict and narrow perceptions of ourselves. Not bad. We're no longer demonizing the makings of us because it's a part of our evolution and growth to form us, to shape us, to be us. Be us in the way that it goes towards the formulate patterning of our energy to manifest, co-create however we show up in any moment of our evolution, of our growth as a human collective and as individual human beings of divine creation. These ancestral forces have conscious awareness, conscious embodiment, as age well as 6D, six-dimensional beings and above, six-dimensional forces and above, six-dimensional entities and above, six-dimensional divine presence and above, six-dimensional divine creation and above. They have remembrance, mastery to manipulate space and time, things within space and time, because they have remembrance of how space and time works, can work. I felt contention in my heart space when I was reading off this list. I got a divine remembrance as I was in pre-production for this Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment transmission. And baby, I got upset. I got triggered. I started feeling. I was like, I know I'm only perceiving myself. Let me not fly off the handle. But I started feeling. This is parallel to a dimension of the predator-prey consciousness. And my soul is... Because I'm perceiving like, no, brass tacks. Spirit, I was like, it's like brass tacks. This is in the roots, the sedimentary rock, in the basis, foundation of predator-prey consciousness. And I'm like, am I just perceiving this because this dimension of myself and understanding that I have right now at this moment? So I am adamant that this is brass tacks. Most definitely. But what will happen? I will grow into different conscious awareness of myself. You will grow into different conscious awarenesses of yourself. We will grow into different conscious awarenesses of ourselves to create, to be, to evolve. Spirits like brass tacks, predator-prey consciousness. It's like deities utilize this. Deities utilize their esoteric wisdoms to create, manipulate other beings. Humanity, we're all divine beings. We're all divine beings. We're all divine beings. And sometimes we do this unconsciously. Some people do this consciously. If you're not doing it consciously, best believe you're doing it unconsciously, because this is how we create, this is how we grow, this is how we evolve. And I know my top is kind of low cut, but I made a choice, I made a decision in my evolution that I'm not going to demonize or sexualize my body, my anatomy. We have African tribes where women and men walk around butt naked. And it's not perverted. It's nature. So now my top is kind of low cut, and I want to align with these energies, where I'm not demonizing or over sexualizing or sexualizing my anatomy, my body, my vessel, my beingness. Being comfortable to be in my body, you know, and not feeling like I have to cover up anything. If you don't consciously manipulate other beings, you're doing it subconsciously. And this is just facts. Because our energy, either consciously or unconsciously, is schematicizing evolution and growth, always and only. Or what we're trying to create, or we're trying to exist in the way that we create whatever our wants, needs, and desires. So if you're not consciously manipulating other people or other beings, you're doing it subconsciously. And I'm like, shoot. I got into this because have a divine counterpart. In our relationship, our dynamic, we magnify human nature, divine nature, in order to make choices to grow and evolve into more wellness and balance rapidly. Because we can see it. Because every time we communicate with each other, we are experiencing it. The magnification of imbalances. Human nature, divine, all the things. So we get to perceive it, to learn about it through our inner space, ask about what's going on, to garner the divine wisdoms, to grow and evolve rapidly. And, we're each other's mirror. We're each other's mirror. I would say, he is stubborn and prideful. I know I am too. But I just came out of a season where I was over accommodating. I was overly accommodating. I over compromised to where it got into self-sacrificing. At the detriment of my wellness and being. So I'm at a space where I'm just like, I perceived how manipulating other beings can be so suffocating. Yes, I have a divine counterpart. We know it's a twin flame divine counterpart journey to where we grow and evolve through our interaction with each other. I was actually guided by my inner space 2, 3, 4 years ago at the beginning of Kingdom Things podcast. Hey, Ashley, focus on your inner space. Focus on self-love to learn yourself through the way you experience yourself, through your inner space. As below, so above. Everything in your reality is only a manifestation projection of your inner space. So focus on self-love, learning and growing yourself through the way you relate with yourself, to grow and evolve the way you relate with other humans, other beings. And I got to the point where I'd rather do this than talk to you. Divine counterpart. That's how I felt. Because he wasn't practicing the same techniques, to where I felt like, again, I was talking to a brick wall. And that was my gripe in my past relationships. I felt like I couldn't relate with the other people. I felt like I was talking to a brick wall. And hindsight 2020, I know now that, everyone's only showing, every being you communicate with is only showing you a dimension of yourself to grow and evolve. Which leaves the question, where do you leave the space for other beings to show up? What is meaning? What is me and what is them? I know we're all one. And any relationship or communication we have, it's a mirror of ourself. I ask this question, what is me, what is them, because okay, I just got the understanding. My soul's like, hey, Ashley, don't deny your story. You went through a rapid spiritual growth over the last 3 years, beyond what the human consciousness has evolved into in the masses. And I'm going to link below, God is a woman. The divine was like, I need you to rapidly grow into, expand your consciousness to lay the foundation for the template of all of humanity to awaken to the divine human, and the template of the divine human, the perfect human, a high consciousness awareness, high sentient divine human, bipedal man, bipedal woman. I'm gonna link that below. God is a woman. Okay, that answers that question. It's like, why does it feel like I'm talking to a brick wall? My soul's like, hey, Ashley, you're more intelligent than that. We already know this answer. Baby, you expanded your consciousness super rapidly. And that goes back to me in being supremely confident in who I know myself to be. Even if you feel like you're being supremely confident in who you know yourself to be. Even if you feel like you're being gaslit when you walk into the world and the world doesn't mirror back to you who you know yourself to be. So walking in your supreme confidence to assist with being the emanation of higher consciousness, awareness energies, balanced and well energies to help grow and evolve all of humanity, all of this realm, all of planet Earth into heightened conscious awareness and wellness as a community. So it's like you know that answer. You evolve swiftly, quickly. It's where compassion comes in. My soul was like, hey, Ashley, this project, this experience of shifting humanity into heightened conscious awareness as a collective, it's going to involve a lot of compassion with yourself and with other beings. Because we're all learning ourselves. We're all growing out of the swaddle in this experience. So the deities were like, hey, we utilize esoteric wisdoms to create or manipulate other beings. And I got triggered. I was like, well, I started feeling it. And they were like, it's just a way of I got triggered, and they're like, hey, Ashley, it's just a way of nature. And they're like, you know this. Because I was like, yeah. Because I know we're one. And my whole thing is like when the universal consciousness is like, hey, Ashley, what do you want to create? I said unity, because it's been put on my heart space to uplift all beings and things and to remembrance that we're limitless and we are one in each other. We're family. We're a big family tree of limitless potentials. I got the understanding in past lives. I didn't hold this perspective. We can call it selfish, greedy, all the things, because what as below so above, everything in our reality is a manifestation of a dimension of ourselves. So we have selfish, greedy people, all the things in our reality. That's because it's a mirror of choices we chose in a past experience or other dimension of the self. So I have this awareness about myself, right? And I work through these energies. I own it. I take accountability for my spirit or universal consciousness to show me a different way. Grow me and evolve me into different ways of being that foster harmony, wellness, balance, community, as we grow into conscious awareness of more of our limitless embodiments. And so it shall be. Mashallah, Bismillah, Inshallah, Shalom, Namaste, Ashe, Amen. Shalom. I'm just going to read this note. We're going to go into African Universal Creator energies. Seeing or perceiving the world through your narrative of existence, or how the formatting of your energies, of our energies, belief systems shape us to be and believe. We see or perceive the world through our narrative of existence, or how the formatting of our energies, belief systems shape us to be and believe, which is synonymous, symbiotic with the creation. Which is synonymous and symbiotic with creation. All is truly here and now. Meaning, as we believe ourselves to be, as we are, is how we show up. All is truly here and now. So everywhere that we show up, it's a perspective, a minute dimension of ourselves to teach us about ourselves in that moment, to garner wisdoms about ourselves in that moment, to be utilized towards the more makings of us or our evolution. I have this understanding, these divine wisdoms, creation contract, this wisdom specifically, all of this is divine understandings, divine wisdoms. This one right here, creation contracts and expands to create, be existence. I challenged into one of the Kingdom Things podcast audio styles. I don't remember which installment it is, so I can't reference it below, but I'll just share it here. I got this understanding, like creation, just picture a vast space of nothingness, or dark vast space, and then a luminescent geometric sphere that's just pulsing. And every pulsation of this geometric sphere of infinite potentials is evolution, or is what's happening in every infinite pulse of existence. Every pulse of existence of this geometric sphere, geometric sphere being existence, every pulse of it is infinity happening in every moment or every pulse. Creation creates and expands to create, be existence. And my soul's like, hey, Ashley, do you want to hire like another perspective, dimension, wisdom? I was like, yes. And spirit, the soul, universal wisdom was like the contraction and expanding is correlated to running from the self. We know through science, the dimensionality shift is like we have this point of existence. We'll call this A1. And the point of existence moves to over here. It becomes a new dimension called A2. And then A2 moves over to A3, becomes a new dimension called A3. Just picture this being like a XY graph. I can't remember what it's called, a graph. XY graph. So we're at A1, the dot moves over, the dot's now charted at A2, it's a different dimension, it's A2 now. Now we're going to chart the same dot over here, we're going to call it A3, it's a different dimension. We're going to chart the same dot over here, we'll call it A4. Chart the same dot over here, we'll call it A5. Spirit's like, yeah, that's really a beautiful analogy, understanding of creation. Let's put it into your humanism, the experience that you're having now as a being of galactic creation, a human being of galactic creation. This contraction and expansion is correlated with you running from yourself. Or switching dimensions. And it's the ways of nature. And it's necessary. The soul, the oneness of all things, spirit is like, hey, don't demonize your impulses. Because that was one of the things I wanted to master or evolve, impulses, as well as consumption. So don't demonize your impulse or your consumption. Whenever you consume something, you become a different dimension of yourself. Or your energy bandwidth changes. Your vibrational frequential patterning changes. Whenever you have impulses and you move, you're experiencing a dimensionality shift. Whenever you consume something, you're experiencing a dimensionality shift. No longer demonizing it, these things, impulses and consumption. You know, we pray for balance and wellness. We were speaking about. Part of this transmission is, you know, wisdoms in regards to being wellness and balance. More refresher wisdoms of being wellness and balance. Like, hey, set these intentions to be wellness and balance. Don't demonize your impulses or your consumption. And then I got into the thought patterns about, you know, my consumption of choice. I'm a foodie, right? I'm a foodie. And I enjoy carbonated beverages as well. And some people might be like, Ashley. Some people might think drinking soda is like, baby, doing heroin, right? It's all perspective. I don't want to, you know, because I was like, because some people have the impulse of doing heroin. And I'm like, shit, you know, I want to be the wellness to help people that have this impulse. But what makes their impulse different from my impulse? Paradigms of understanding. And I'm not gonna, you know, doing heroin is it's a tough journey for divine wisdoms. Understand any journey that we have, anything we experience, it's a journey that we intentionally set out to experience on a soul level to be embodied, grow into, expand to more divine wisdoms. That doing heroin is a tough journey of divine wisdoms. I watched enough episodes of Intervention on A&E back in the day to be able to perceive this. I don't have to actually shoot up heroin to know, shit, that's tough to experience this. And I don't want to experience it. And I don't need to understand that this is tough. That's a tough journey to choose as a soul to grow and evolve. to garner wisdoms, to be more wisdoms, to exercise, master more wisdoms. Because when I asked that, I was like, my spirit said, hey, Ashley, do you do that? I said, no, baby, I drink soda and stuff. Like, I like sweets and sodas and things. And I've also, and some people might be like, Ashley, oh my gosh. Baby, we're galactic beings. I'm a galactic being. We're galactic beings, right? You don't have to claim your galactic being heritage at this time. I do. And I know I can use my mind to manipulate matter. Whatever I believe about a substance is how it's going to affect my body. I'm aware of this. So and we're in a divine experience. We are light beings, reflecting, refracting to create the illusion of embodiment and form. I'm not about to be in this experiment and not eat what I want to eat with wellness and balance and drink what I want to drink with praying, set the intentions with wellness and balance, because of paradigms that said that this is bad for you. When this paradigm that says this is bad for me. And that was another thing I got into. My soul was like, do you know why y'all have these understandings about food and things? It's because whenever y'all start evolving or growing into different dimensions of yourself, humanity, y'all demonize what you used to do. And understanding what you used to do is a part of the makings of you. So if you're demonizing what you used to do, you're also demonizing who you are now. Dimensions of you're offending or fighting with dimensions of yourself in the moment, in your inner space, creating that conflict or internal war, which manifests as war and conflict in our reality, in our relationships, in our dynamics of community, civilizations. It's like, hey, when you used to go to McDonald's when you were a kid and get those chicken nuggets, you wasn't talking about chicken nuggets the way you talked about it. Now, I know you've seen a documentary, so now you all uppity. You don't mess with chicken nuggets. But understand that little kid that loves those chicken nuggets, it still lives inside of you. That kid still lives inside of you. It's honoring every dimension of yourself. Have your preferences, all the things. But understand whatever you perceive about something is a direct reflection on your belief system and not truth, not universal truth. Thank you, so. So I was like, dang, that's wild. And then I was like, predator prey, like deities utilizing esoteric wisdoms to create, manipulate other beings. I was like, whoa. Like, dang. And my spirit's like, actually, you used to do this in other dimensions of yourself consciously. I was like, shoot. And I was like, yeah. And as soon as I was like, okay, I'm not gonna demonize it. I'm not gonna condemn myself. I'm not gonna demonize it, because what did those experiences create? Who I am today. My manifestation, Ashley-Nicole Phillips, and who I am today created every experience that I've had as an authentic frequential patterning, as a dimension, synonymously one with all things. My conscious perspective, awareness of all things is only what it needs to be in every moment to grow and evolve my authentic frequential patterning or my expression within divine creation. So none of it is bad. As much as we would like to gripe, let's no longer condemn ourselves. Because the condemnation, whenever we condemn somebody else, we're condemning ourselves. Why? As below, so above. Everybody in our reality is only a dimension of ourselves. It shows what we have inside of us, what the energies that we hold that are us. And when we condemn ourselves, we put a ceiling on our evolution and growth capabilities. Or we're warring with ourselves. We're sending energies. We're conjuring and projecting energies of lack, and not sharing energies of abundance and wellness. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and end this here, and we'll get into the African Universal Creator Energy, as well as African Universal Creator Energy personification, plus many gods, as well as the bipedal man. This includes a woman. Within the next transmission, as well as Yes. We're going to end this transmission with a channel from Osiris and Isis. Transitional channel for Osiris and Isis, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, the Norse gods, and the beings of the great beyond, as well as Bata, the Egyptian creator god. And we'll save Thotmi, Thothealeni, and Tahuti for next week's transmission, where we'll cover bipedal man, this includes a woman, as well as African universal creator gods. Part 2. So we did it in two transmissions. It'll only be 2 transmissions. This will be tentative because we might get some more divine revelations where we need to extend it into 3. And this is okay. All right, y'all. So I'm going to sit back and we're going to transcendently channel. Like, I'm so nervous, but we're going to do this. The energies are coming in. I'm going to let go, relax, allow. Let go, relax, and allow. Starting with Isis and Osiris. Osiris speaking as a pantheon god of Egyptian mythology. My myth is my truth of my divine revelation, divine creation. That is the awareness that all that is perceived, all that is made aware is all that exists within dimensions of existence beyond the perception of that in which is deemed to be truth. Thank you, Ashley. Isis of great Egyptian notoriety, presenting my form, my body, as Ashley's form, Ashley's body, to be the remembrance that all is within, all is one, Ashley. A teaching that is prevalent in ancient Egyptian mythology that has been expanded by the ascension of humanity. Thank you, Ashley. Jesus of Nazareth speaking. Jesus of Nazareth speaking with my wife, my divine counterpart, my twin flame, Mary Magdalene. Present. Mary Magdalene present. I am present. Thank you, my wife. Jesus of Nazareth speaking, channeling through Ashley once again, as this is not no formality that is new, as Ashley channels my beingness from time to time within her podcast. Frequently. Frequent enough. We need to make it more frequent, Ashley. Surely, Rabbi Yeshua. Ashley speaking. Rabbi Yeshua speaking, also known as Jesus of Nazareth. My relationship with Ashley is one in which has assisted both her and I, evolving our frequential patterning, our authentic expression within as to grow and evolve, to embody more awareness, conscious expression of divine creation, limitless potentials. As Ashley has not been afraid to bend the paradigm, conception, misconception, Ashley. Misconception that I am the Lord, the God, the Almighty, the One. The truth is, I am a dimension of the One, just as Ashley, Jesus, Christ, Mary Magdalene, Isis, Osiris, Ptah, the creator, creator God, experiencer God, energy. Rabbi was like, who else are we channeling today, Ashley? The beings of the great beyond. Thank you, Ashley. The beings of the great beyond, myself, Jesus of Nazareth, Rabbi Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, Osiris, Isis. I wanted Ashley to open her eyes and share who else are we channeling today. The beings of the great beyond. The beings of the great beyond. Blessings and wellness to you and your great beyond. Ptah, the creator God, experience your God energy. Next week, Thotmi, Thothi Lantin. Thotmi, Thothi Lantin, Tahuti. We are all dimensions of divine awareness. We are not the divine awareness. Thank you, Ashley. Mary Magdalene here. I would like to say a few words. My docile nature to my king, my master, Ashley. She's uncomfortable with saying this. I perceive Rabbi Yeshua as my master, as I am a master to his masterful nature. My docile nature is one in which Ashley has had a fuss with, or has been a varying dimension, perspective switch from my own. As one might see her nature to refuse to submit to her masculine essence manifested in the tangible, yin-yang balance counterpart manifested in the tangible, her refusal to submit to him might be perceived as stubborn. And then I have the awareness, perspective, Ashley, that Rabbi Yeshua, Jesus of Nazareth, Rabbi Yeshua is my king, my master. I am his queen, his master. Thank you, Ashley. Ooh, wow. We're channeling the Norse gods as well today. They are as well. I didn't see it when I opened my eyes. They are as well dimensions of divine creation. That was really powerful and beautiful. I'm being guided to speak. I'm gonna speak because my soul's like, hey Ashley, when you're vulnerable, when you're honest, it helps universal forces gauge the evolution of humanity to more wellness and balance. I respect Jesus, Rabbi Yeshua, and Mary Magdalene's relationship, their dynamic. I respect it. I perceived it as, like, parts of me perceive it as old school. I respect it, but parts of me perceive it as old school. Because why, Ashley? Because we're at an accumulation point, and Rabbi Yeshua and Mary Magdalene even said this in their and not to condemn it. They said this, not old school, not to condemn it. I'm gonna go into explanation. They're like, y'all are in a different space than we were and are as Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Humanity of today, y'all are the accumulation point of a masterful shift into heightened awareness of your humanity's community's ascension cycle into greater awareness and embodiment, conscious awareness and embodiment of your limitless potentials. Y'all are an accumulation point where all of humanity is done. All of humanity is rising, has rise, will speak into existence, it's an infinite journey, is rising into y'all's infinite potentials. Actually, where you and your counterpart is a different dimension. It's a dimension shift from, where they're speaking to me right now, where me, me being Jesus and Mary Magdalene, where we are, where we were and are. It's a different dimension shift. So we respect your perspective that what and who we are old school. And I respect where they are. I admire it. So much so that I want it to be. And I know I am. Because all is within. I wanted to fit within the Jesus and Mary Magdalene template. I wanted me and my divine counterpart to squish, not to squish, but to force ourselves into the Jesus and Mary Magdalene template. It's like who y'all are is not who we are. Y'all are something else. Allow yourself to be that. Humanity, who our ancestors are, who we are, we're not. We are created to be something else. Meaning, we don't have to be. We don't have to temper ourselves and feel like we have to be less than our natural expression, our natural impulse in any moment in order to fit the paradigms of who our ancestral forces are channeled or recorded to be. Allow ourselves to grow and evolve into whoever we were intended to be. With wellness and balance, for the upliftment and regeneration of all is universally aligned, universally assigned, and so it shall be. Shalom. Mashallah, Bismillah, Inshallah, Namaste, Amen, Ashe, and so it shall be. We're going to go ahead and channel the Norse gods, as well as the beings of the great beyond. As well as, and then Ptah, the creator energy, experiencer God. And thank you, Osiris, Isis, Jesus, and Mary Magdalene. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I didn't speak about Osiris and Isis. I'm not gonna lie, I was afraid of them a little bit. I was afraid of Osiris and Isis. My soul's like, hey, explain why, Ashley? Because their magic is so powerful. Jesus and Mary Magdalene's magic is powerful too, as well, right? But the story that we know as Osiris and Isis is pure magic. So magic that we call it mythology. Now we question Jesus and Mary Magdalene's story as well, you know? And they're like, what's understood doesn't have to be explained. Osiris, Isis, Jesus, and Mary Magdalene, so what's understood doesn't have to be explained. I respect all of these ancestral forces in which we're one with. And I have gratitude for lending their energy for this experience within my channels, Oneness Connection, as well as the podcast. I've channeled these ancestral energies in the podcast. This is the first time I've transcendentally channeled Osiris and Isis. I have gratitude. I'm grateful. What's understood doesn't have to be explained. We do want to ask our inner space the questions to get our own divine understandings. Then, none of the ancestral forces owe us explanations. I'm glad that they're willing to share whatever they share towards our evolution. I have gratitude. I'm going to sit back. Excuse me. Thank you, ancestral forces. I'm going to sit back and we're going to channel the Norse gods, as well as the beings of the great beyond. These beings that we know about Norse gods, and they're Googleable. You can look the Norse god pantheon up. Scandinavian, from Scandinavian origins, European mythology. We know it as mythology. Mythology, as the ancestral forces stated, Isis, Osiris, like mythology. And I've channeled this before as well. I'll link the link below. Kingdom Things podcast installment where I channel Egyptian deities, Nefertiti, Bastet, Sekhmet. They're like, hey, what you term as mythology is really creation in other dimensions outside of your paradigm of understanding of reality. So Norse gods, they are reality in dimensions of reality that accept Norse gods as truth, as paradigms of truth, of reality. So we're going to channel some Norse gods and as well as the beings of the great beyond. The beings of the great beyond, I've been doing a lot of healing in the inner spaces. to assist with uplifting human consciousness, expanding human consciousness. And I said in my song, Selenite Wands, I'm a singer-songwriter, Selenite Wands. I called out to the universe. I channeled it through my heart space. All my music, I channeled through the heart space. My soul speaks to me, through me, to heal humanism, to evolve myself and humanity and the oneness of all things into more wellness and balance. And I incantate, whenever you incantate, you're manifesting. I incantate it, or channeled, all hands on deck. Make sure we become a standing nation. Evolve way past self-condemnation, the shame, the guilt, the resentment, the anger. That's my song, Selenite Wands. Is available to stream Epoch the album, Ashley-Nicole music on YouTube under the playlist. You'll see Epoch the album. Within that playlist, Selenite Wands. These beings of the great beyond. I've channeled about the great beyond before. They're like, no, we're a different great beyond. We understand you have this perspective. Those aren't our energies, though. They're like, those aren't our energies. We're a different great beyond. You can call us the great beyond. We assist with projecting or co-creating, manifesting, projecting your existence into creation. Humanity, galactic creation. They're like, we assist with projecting or co-creating galactic creation into existence. Through our thoughts, our energies, or that's how we know the paradigms, thoughts, energies, all the things. They're like, we assist it because their understandings of this is not thoughts and energies, it's a different paradigm of understanding. But they're like, we project it, y'all, into existence. And I haven't channeled them transcendentally yet, but I commune with them to grow into greater conscious awareness of wisdoms, to embody more wellness and balance, to be wellness and balance, divine wisdoms, practice divine wisdoms. So we're channeling these beings of the great beyond. Wisdoms from the the beings of the great beyond. Beings of the great beyond. We'll do this next time. Okay. Beings of the great beyond. I'm gonna go send back. We're gonna channel North guys as well as these beings from the great beyond. It's really cool the way I perceive them. I was having extrasensory perception, communication, synesthesia, all types of different multidimensional faculties were used to communicate with all the ancestral forces that I communicate with, as well as the beings from the great beyond. And I was having like, what we know is like telepathic conversation, communication, sharing wisdoms, exchanging wisdoms, all the things. And then they're like, then they revealed themselves. In my mind's eye, I saw like stardust just pan across my mind's eye, and then the stardust turned into form, shapes, beings. They're like, we're beings from the great beyond. I said, whoa. They're like, we assisted with projecting you into reality, your creation, galactic creation. And your galactic creation spawns and stems from multidimensional with other dimensions of creation beyond your synaptical understanding of reality at this time. And this understanding in itself that galactic creation, we're projected into galactic creation by beings of the great beyond. And our galactic creation is symbiotic, multidimensional creation with other dimensions of creation that are beyond our synaptical understanding of creation. It is a divine wisdom within and of itself. We'll grow into synaptical understandings that are projection likened to our evolution. May it be with wellness and balance. As universally aligned, universally assigned for the upliftment and regeneration of all things, and so it shall be. Turning the chaos into divine wisdoms. Because we came from chaos. Beginning of space and time, galactic creation ensued. The biblical story that's shared across many religions, many dogmas, paradigms of belief systems. Galactic creation ensued at the beginning of space and time, 6 spheres of creation. I channel 6 spheres of creation. Other dimensions, other paradigms, religions channel other numbers of spheres, or they have a different understanding of what happened. But I channel 6 spheres of creation came together to create a more omnipotent, well-balanced, limitless potentials, dimensions, wisdoms of creation. Chaos ensued from the summation of these 6 spheres of creation. And that's how many religions, dogmas, paradigms, belief systems, ideologies have it. At the beginning of space and time, chaos ensued. Chaos ensued, galactic creation ensued, or space and time. in order to figure a balance and wellness between these energies. 6 spheres of creation coming together to create something else. More wellness, more balance, more potentials, more limitless potentials, more creation, more experience, and beyond, and infinite other reasons, infinite other dimensions. Including refinement realms. And we'll get into refinement realms later. We'll bookmark refinement realms because I'm still maybe wrapping my mind, body, soul around this understanding. Still integrating my mind, body, soul around the understanding of refinement realms. And creation not truly being limitless, because the way we perceive creation has an endpoint, or it evolves into something else, or dissolves into something else. Dissolves into something else beyond creation. And these are wisdoms that I got from being guided to just call them. They said just call us these energies, this understanding, for synaptical clarity, refinement realms. I was like, well, I'm still integrating with these energies. I'm just like, oof, we'll bookmark this. And we'll talk about it later. Refinement rooms. So these beings of the great beyond. Beginning of space and time. Energies created chaos. 6 spheres coming together created chaos. Galactic creation ensued, or space and time ensued to create balance, wellness, limitless potentials out of the chaos. That's where humans were part of this creation of chaos coming into balance. Humanity. And I was channeling, and these are other dimensions of the self or divine creation that I'm still integrating with understandings. Bunnies of the great beyond, y'all. Bunnies, bunny rabbits, animals, like we know bunny rabbits of the great beyond. I encountered their energies, I encountered their energies within myself, calming my energy, learning about myself. And they're like, we create chaos on purpose. That's how they would say it. That's how they would say it. Like, that's how their energy is. They're like, we create chaos on purpose. In that laugh. It seems nefarious, right? That's how I perceived it. So I'm still integrating with it. They're like, we create chaos on purpose. We go around creating chaos. I was like, shoot. But I know everything has a reason. So I don't want to condemn, because when we condemn, we create stagnation. So I was calling my inner space, and I was like confronting the energies of chaos causer within me. And eventually I grew and evolved to where I tandemly connected with the bunnies of the great beyond. And I connected with them before, but they didn't divulge their existence like they divulged it a couple weeks ago when I connected with them again. They were like, we assisted with your, it was like months ago. It might even be like a year ago. I don't remember when it was. Right? It's how long ago it was when I first came into conscious awareness of the bunnies of the great beyond. But I saw it in my mind's eye clairvoyantly. I had a vision of bunnies in a realm, and they were speaking to me. They're like, "Hey, we assisted with creating you, or humanity." And they're like, I was like, "Bunnies? Is that like an analogy?" That like they're like, "No, we're really bunnies." I was like, they're like, "No, Ashley, we're really bunnies." I was like, "What?" I was like, well, that was the first time I came into conscious awareness of them, conscious contact with the bunnies of the great beyond. They're like, call us bunnies of the great beyond. They're like, we're really bunnies. When I first, they didn't tell me that. They were just like, we're really bunnies, and we help co-create humanity. And that was it. And I saw my mind clairvoyantly, bunnies hopping around in the realm. They're like more animated. They're more animated. So they were more animated, like a cartoon, in a way that they were personified. They had like personalities and things. I was like, and that was the first time I came into contact with them. They didn't tell me nothing about causing chaos or nothing. They're just like, hey, we're bunnies of the great beyond. We assisted with co-creating humanity. I was like, are the bunnies an analogy? Like, they're like, no, we're really bunnies. I was like, whoa. At this point, I'm like, shit. And I just look, baby, ooh, my soul, baby, integrated me with this understanding. Because I was like, what? Is this a hallucination? I was like, this is just so outside of the realms of understanding, because we know bunny rabbits. We have rabbits in our realm. And we don't know rabbits as hopping around personified unless we watching gosh darn some cartoons about it. I was like, dang. I was like, okay. It's like, bunnies. That was the first time I communicated with them. And just like last week, I feel like last week or a couple weeks ago, last week, they came back to my conscious awareness. We came back into contact, because I was like going over energies of chaos and all the things, and healing some stuff in my inner space, powwow session. And they're like, bunnies of the great beyond, back again. They're like, we create chaos on purpose. They're like feel honored about it, like happy about it. Like, we create chaos on purpose. Not feel honored about it. It's just who they are. And they don't condemn themselves. They don't perceive themselves as nefarious. That's what it is. They don't feel honored about it. They don't perceive themselves as nefarious. They're like, this is what we do. And then they just left it there. They're like, can you channel us in your podcast, Kingdom Things Podcast? I said, now I'm just coming off some other transmissions where, baby, my paradigm, synaptical understandings of reality have been, baby, shaken up, like a gosh darn caramel macchiato, shaking caramel macchiato. And you want our macchiatos stirred or they shaking? If they're, I think macchiatos might be our macchiato. I think you make a macchiato beverage by pouring the coffee, not shaking it. So that's gonna be funny if that's the truth. That joke's gonna be really funnier. They're like, I'm shaking up, stirred up, poured up like caramel macchiato. I was like, my understanding has been shaken up, stirred up, poured up like a caramel macchiato. Now you want me, and I'm channeling all these other things. I was like, babe, the world's gonna think I'm effing crazy. Bunnies in the great beyond. But then my soul's just like, they were like, just put us in your calendar. My soul's like, just put it in the calendar, baby. We're not channeling them transcendental. Well, we're talking about them now. We're really channeling their energy right now. Thank you. It'll be a couple months before we channel Bunnies of the Great Beyond within Kingdom Things Podcast, and even more time before the installment is published on YouTube or Spotify. Again, subscribe, follow to join the Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips. Journey to a healed and balanced human culture of planet Earth. They're speaking to me through me right now, their energy. Why my soul's like, Ashley, why do you feel more comfortable with channeling them now? Because the experience I had with them earlier when I was walking. And I didn't even realize it was the bunnies from the great beyond. They're like, surprise. Because I experienced a different dimension of them. The wisdoms that come from the chaos. The wisdoms that spawn from the chaos. Powerful, soothing, benevolent, uplifting, regenerative. They asked me, they were like, hey, Ashley, you know, what's your inspiration to be, to exist, to live? And now that I've had so much consciousness awareness activated within my existence, my beingness, my inspiration to exist, to live, to be has evolved and grown and shifted all the things to where whenever I had the motivation, inspiration to love, to be, to exist for love. And yes, y'all, the Disney fairy tale love, where you meet your perfect match, you fall in love, you live a beautiful existence, beautiful experiences, have a family, all the things. And when this understanding was collapsed like a house of cards, when I had my spiritual awakening and my soul's like, hey, Ashley, you didn't incarnate to be comfortable in the paradigms of this realm. You incarnated to assist with evolving this realm, the paradigms, humanism, to more wellness and balance of y'all's remembrance, divine remembrance of your existential nature, your limitless potentials, not to get comfortable with status quo, but to be revolution, evolution, to the way you relate with yourself, your inner space, your existential remembrances. Share your existential remembrances, your healing energies to help awaken other souls, to remembrances, other beings, other divine dimensions of the self, to remember that we are limitless, we are one, we are a family. And as we do this, it can be an illuminating journey to the fact of how one we are, even with how one we are, how communal we are. The journey of remembrance and awakening has to be an intimate. It doesn't have to be, because there's infinite ways to exist, but I'm being guided to say we have to take the time to relate with ourselves, to cultivate the intimacy with ourselves, our individual incarnations and existence, or our limitless potentials, our limitless wisdoms, to garner existential remembrance of who we are, a supreme confidence of our remembrance of our existential evolution, that we are limitless potentials. Our perception of the limitless potentials in which we are grows and evolves infinitely. Having confidence in this, not necessarily what you know, what you have, who you are, who you believe yourself to be, but that you are infinite potentials in evolution to become more consciously aware of your infinite potentials. Having supreme confidence in this. I might feel a different way tomorrow. I might have some contrasting wisdoms presented tomorrow. I'm not wrong. I'm in evolution. I'm not bad. I'm not nefarious. I'm in evolution. I'm in divine growth. And I told my soul, may I ever be a student of creation. I hope I never get to the space where I feel like I know everything and I can't be told nothing. And so it shall be. The Bunnies of the Great Beyond, I had a conversation with them earlier, and I'm like, I'm excited to channel y'all. Anytime I channel y'all, speaking to a different dimension. So we create chaos. I was posed a question for my inner space. I knew it was universal presence. I wasn't aware that it was the beings of the great beyond, the bunnies of the great beyond, wisdoms. Like, hey, Ashley, what's your inspiration for living? I was like, shoot, to be my dharmic purpose, to be who I was created to be. And my soul's like, you were created to be wellness, journey your reality, to come into more conscious awareness of your wellness, your limitless potentials, and share your presence, your energy to help uplift all things. Dharmic purpose. And then the bunnies of the great beyond energies asked, oh yeah, the bunnies of the great beyond asked, what if creation didn't need you? What if creation didn't need you? Because being in your dharmic purpose, you feel like you feel a sense of responsibility to a role that is yours. And you have the role because the role is needed. So you feel important, self-important, self-valued through this need that who I am is a dimension of creation that is needed. That's why I came into creation. The bunnies of the great beyond were like, pose the question, what if creation didn't need you? What would you want to do then? I was like, shoot. I was like, I would journey creation with an inquisitive disposition to grow into intimacy with myself, grow and learn more about myself or my limitless nature. Just like my soul has been teaching and guiding me to do. I said that, and then Bunnies of Great Beyond, like, does it sound familiar? It's like, this is what your soul has been teaching and guiding you to do. And I was like, woo, shoot, full circle moment. I was like, yes, it's powerful. I was like, yeah. And they were like, we're the bunnies of the great beyond, Ashley. I was like, what? They're like, we're the wisdoms from the chaos. They're like, hey, Ashley, you've been so afraid to exist, been tiptoeing like you're walking on eggshells because you didn't want to be the chaos. You don't want to be comfortable in the chaos that you were spawned from. Humanity's been spawned from, galactic creation spawned from. You didn't want to be comfortable in the chaos. It's like, you don't have to be comfortable in the chaos, but understand, dig into the chaos and be comfortable in the wisdoms. Relax into the wisdoms, be peace in the wisdoms, decalcify in the wisdoms, or understand that you don't have to be afraid in regards to the chaos, because from chaos comes wisdoms. I'm going to sit back and we're going to transcendentally channel. They want to channel now. Great. Yay. We're going to transcendentally channel the bunnies of the great beyond. And we're going to actually save the Norse gods, as well as the beings of the great beyond, as well as Ptah, Egyptian creator experiencer god, for the next installment, next week. I really hope we get to this. I don't want to like leave them out. Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to channel Norse gods, bunnies of the great, beings of the great beyond, Ptah, the Egyptian creator experience of God next week. We're going to sit back and channel the bunnies of the great beyond this week. This is great. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is great. Thank you. There's a dimension of me that said, in my inner space, I heard clairaudient and nefarious. Because, why, Ashley? Because I am diverging from the course of action that my synapses understood would be taking place in this transmission. This is nothing like what I thought it was going to be. It's been beautiful, healing, balance, wellness, powerful nonetheless. Whenever things were outside of what we thought things to be, this being outside of what I thought it to be, there's an energy that came up that said nefarious, evil. My soul wanted me to express this, to heal it up. None of this is bad. We're going to channel the bunnies of the great beyond transcendentally, and then we'll close out this transmission. Thank you, Ashley. We are playing with her, toying with her, in our communications within her inner space. Everything that we are in our chaos causing, humanity would perceive as nefarious, is everything in which is nefarious on your planet stems from energies, in part, Ashley, in part, stems from energies of the bunnies of the great beyond. Chaos causing within your realm, within your reality, within your beingness, the energies of the makings of you, humanity. Thank you, Ashley. I want to thank y'all so much for stopping into this Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment transmission. I know I'm not the most consistent person when it comes to the Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment transmissions. But when we get them, we get them. Okay? When we get them, it's a divine orchestration of powerful blessings, wellness, balance, energies, wisdoms. Whatever resonates with your heart space, you're more than welcome to use the energies that are intended to be soul activating, soul wellness, genome activating, genome wellness for the universal alignment, universally assignment, universally aligned, universally assigned for yourself, which is one tandem with all things, uplifting to yourself all things. Whatever doesn't resonate with your heart space, leave it. It's not a problem. All is well and getting weller. Again, subscribe to the channel, share the content, like the video to assist with proliferating the Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment community, as well as to be a more intrinsic dimension of the Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment community. We spoke about Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole, which is available to stream for free on YouTube as well as Spotify. Talked about my music. Ashley-Nicole music is available to stream on YouTube. So many genres, healing forces, my inner space, the oneness of all things, universal wisdoms, entities, forces, dimensions of the self. Help co-create wellness and evolution for humanity through my offerings and my music, to assist with co-creating wellness and evolution for humanity through my offerings. That are my music. So many genres, lyrics, healing energies, whatever resonates with your heart space. May it bring you wellness, joy, balance, and more conscious awareness and embodiment of your limitless potentials as universally aligned, universally assigned for the upliftment and regeneration of all things, and so shall it be. Ashley-Nicole music is available to stream on YouTube, link below. I'm also an author, y'all. I authored the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel, which is a part of my rapid experience of consciousness, acceptance, awareness, embodiment of more of my limitless potentials and limitless nature. The Unconditional Love Literature Parcel is my soul channel through myself. It's a 3-part book series. The first 2 parts are Asia's story. Asia is a teenage girl growing up in the New York City foster care system. She's catalyzed onto her spiritual awakening journey when she meets her twin flame Chase in the hallway of her school Manhattan Prep. She goes through a lot of existential crises. We would perceive it as existential crises to help her consciously become more aware and embody and accept her limitless potentials, to be, embody, and co-create a reality that reflects her limitless potentials. The third part of the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel, the third part of the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel is My Other Half. My Other Half is a twin flame divine counterpart story back home to God inside. One soul, 2 energies, many lifetimes. They know they're supposed to co-create a love and a life together. Each lifetime says that their love can't work. The books are prophetic. They will co-create a love and a life, which lifetime, under which circumstances. This is the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel. Now available in the Amazon bookstore. If you're doing all digital downloads, 3 separate downloads, $29.97 plus tax, nonetheless, for all 3 stories. If you're doing paperback bindings mailed to your home, there are 2 separate bindings for all 3 stories. The first 2 parts are Asia's story. The first 2 stories, Coming Home, the story of Asia, is the first story. The story of Asia, I'm Home, is the second story. Come in 1 binding, Asia's story. The third part, My Other Half, comes in a second binding, $29.98 plus tax, nonetheless, for all 3 stories and 2 bindings, 2 books. Links specified below in the description of this video. Digital downloads of the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel, as well as paperback bindings of the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel. I also offer powwow sessions, individual powwow sessions, where I transcendentally channel energies and messages in which your soul wants you to experience, to come into greater conscious awareness of your limitless potentials, greater conscious embodiment of your limitless potentials. You are able to book your individual one-on-one powwow session below within the Kingdom Things Podcast Healing Home Square portal. I also have my offering, Asia's Story, the animated series, which does stem from the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel universe. I channel existential wisdoms and my conscious awareness of my multidimensional experiences within the animated series. Asia's Story, the animated series, is available to stream for free at this time on YouTube. AP Short Stories is my author's YouTube channel, linked below in the description of this video. Before we roll into an episode of Asia's Story, as well as an episode of my live series, I want to invite you formally to come take part and experience the co-creation that is my live series. This live series is about what we're all experiencing, awakening within the dream as human beings of a divine galactic colony. Out of the Box is now available. My live series is now available to stream. You're able to find it, Ashley-Nicole Music on YouTube. Under the playlist section, you'll see Out of the Box, my music YouTube channel, Ashley-Nicole Music. Last but certainly not least, y'all, I'm a home cook. I enjoy cooking. I intuitively cook. Whatever my ancestors tell me to put in the pot, the pan, the baking dish, I am truly one with my ancestors. Tell me to put in the pot, the pan, the baking dish. This is what I put in the pot, the pan, the baking dish. Magic Meals with Ashley-Nicole Phillips is available to stream on YouTube, link below. We go to the grocery store, we use mystery ingredients, we get divine revelations, we laugh, we joke. We have a good time. Again, Magic Meals with Ashley-Nicole Phillips is available to stream on YouTube. I love you. Love on yourself. Self-love is the best love because you have to love yourself in the way in which you want your reality to love you back. Self-love is the best love because it helps you consciously embody, be more of your limitless potentials. Self-love is the best love because you are love. Give it to yourself first. I'll see you later. Bye.
I thought I had awakened from the crypt.
If you read the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel, now available in the Amazon bookstore, you would know that in my dimensional universe of origins, I was incubated for the first 3 to 4 years of my life.
Asia, do you want to eat out for breakfast?
Yeah. That sounds great.
Are you okay?
Hey, my name is Asia, and I am an interdimensional being. I know. I just found out myself. Everything that I thought was my truth was a lie. I chose to continue this life because of the one thing that I know isn't a lie. Love.
You seem a bit shaken. I energetically sensed you were working through some things. I didn't pry too much. I wanted to respect your process.
Possible timeline outcomes. Below divine order. Highest timeline. Highest timeline. Every energy I have encountered as a soul. So, not just this lifetime, was part of my process of becoming. I had to acknowledge myself or my process or every energy I have encountered in order to fully embrace my divine presence. And so it is, and so it is, with ease and grace. My journey of self-realization has been just that, a journey. Is just that, a journey. Now that I am embodying more of the energies of my existential truths, I am being aligned with opportunities that allow me to not only redefine my contributions to the planet by seeding my authentic soul energies into the planet, which contributes to a healthy and balanced human culture. I get to experience a more exuberant reality that reflects my authenticities.
Hello, Asia.
Hello.
Do you know what I am?
You're Melvin the Great.
Yes, you are correct. Can I show you something?
Show me something?
You are magic.
How did we?
Are you ready to see more?
Yeah, you see, I am. Sir Melvin the Great.
I felt so. But you have trepidations?
Yeah. I'm sure in your first, I don't know what you would call it, evolutionary cycle training day of transcending realities in your waking state, you had some trepidation too.
Are you kidding me? I was born a pro. Shall we transcend to another reality? Sounds like the storm is moving closer.
The moon?
Sure, dear Asia. If you presume this to be the moon it is.
I think I'm understanding. All is the mind. We project and create our reality with our minds. Allowing myself to embody these understandings and experience myself or these understandings in a greater way is the journey.
Precisely. You pick up rather quick for an earthling.
Thank you, Sir Melvin the Great. I have a knowing that this is just the beginning. Meeting and learning from the ancestors, my ancestors, your ancestors. I am being guided to utilize the wisdom I procure to create. I was gifted with soul knowings in regards to what I intended to create on a soul level or God level. Whenever God or creation requires a dimension or aspect in order to evolve and or rejuvenate, the aspect or dimension comes into being or creation, procreation. What am I procreating? A human culture with no death, no disease, no poverty, no famine, no war, world peace. Remember, Asya, you can't do it alone. You don't want to do it alone. As an infinite soul, I have had infinite relationships that subconsciously created dissonance within myself. Dissonance that kept me from realizing internal validation and feelings of worthiness of who I am in my honest truths, in my truest truths. Unconditional love, which made it difficult for me to be unconditionally loving to all things, all people. Let's be grateful. End with a celebratory note. Utilize this wisdom, soul divine alignment, to create harmony and peace instead of war and chaos. And so it is. My name is Asya, and I'm a teenage witch. Just kidding. I am a starseed. My story is much like humanity's story. I awakened to some pretty spectacular things about myself. Coming home, the story of Asya, followed by the story of Asya, I'm Home. The book series that introduces the book. After returning from a day's trip, I have read my Atum's letter. He speaks of my father releasing him from imprisonment and the fate of death. He pleads for us to run away together. This plea is one of which I make no state to decline. My other half, available in the Amazon bookstore. I feel as though I was born here on Earth to find you. I was created to find my person. The Unconditional Love Literature Parcel, now available in the Amazon bookstore. Conscious within a realm that is a patient within the etheric intensive care unit. As ancient eons-old prophecy has been resurrected and fulfilled, growing into being a dimension of the limitless bipedal man. Well, woman. Let's try this intro scene again. We're galactic beings. Our energetic disposition and thought patterns manifest our reality. Let's try awakened within the dream. Remembering that I am one with all things, and that my energetic embodiment is infinite and sentient. Another day in paradise. As I awakened to my limitless presence, a little bit ahead of the masses. Another day in paradise. Because I am a forerunner. I began to demonize humanism as a part of my awakening process. It's an ancient cycle, an archaic cycle, that we no longer allow ourselves to do. As instead of demonizing our experiences,
Not limerence. Not naive.
or our creations as humans, we face them, we meet them, we learn from them, and grow and evolve the energies of our creations.
But conscious and aware of the need and necessity to balance energies to eradicate disease. Another day in paradise. like food. In nature, what does your sky look like? I ask because I have the soul level remembrance that every human perceives reality as we are, or as the energies we're embodying in every moment, and not truly as it is. So I ask, what does your sky look like?
You are clear, ocean waves, what you call sins, paving ways of revolution, activated human will, you are the earth, you are the dust, you are the
We, humanity, stem from the beginning of space and time, the spheres of creation in which came together to create a more powerful, abundant, prime source creator energy, or Allah, or God, or the Most High. The energy summation of the spheres of creation were an energy of imbalance and chaos. So, galactic creation ensued, as well as the universal laws in which govern the tangible realms, worlds, and planets. Like the principle of gender, everything in creation has feminine as well as masculine energies as the components of its makeup. To be in perfect balance or achieve 0 point, you must embrace, honor, and cultivate your yin and your yang, or your feminine and your masculine, or your inner man as well as inner woman. You don't have to know the way. Just know that you are your North Star.
You are a warrior, princess, dragon, galactic, queen.
Be like water. Flow.
How's being awake in your earthly dream treating you?
Taking everything in stride. How's the Earth's timeline trajectory looking?
100% chance of the highest timeline outcome manifesting for the foreseeable eons, and a 100% chance of your most abundant mirrored and balancing counterpart manifesting to traverse your human interdimensional existence with.
All in a space, time, and beyond's work. And I trust this.
Be patient, Ash.
Ash?
Do you mind me calling you Ash?
No, I don't mind. My grandmother and my sister are the only ones who have called me Ash.
You there, Ashley? Ash? Ash?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're remembering.
I'm what? Remembering.
Your mission on planet Earth.
To assist with uplifting and rejuvenating all of infinite creation through the way I relate with and unconditionally love myself or all things.
Yes. Be patient and compassionate with yourself, Ashley.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Talk to you later, Em.
We were created. Love is on fire. We'll get over it.